Hello everyone, it's H here, and today on this video we're going to be looking into Bitcoin and its Elliott Wave count. Let's take a look at the first on the macro picture and then dive into the smaller timeframes to see what we are going to be expecting shorter time frame and what some potential trade setups might be happening soon. So here on the higher time frame we have two main ideas. One of them is having a three-way structure coming from the all-time highs as an ABC into these lows. With this being in mind, we have this as a potential wave W, looking for wave X with this expanded flat that we've been having. Let's see if we can get that on the screen. Where we have this as an A, B, and then 5 waves into C, where again in C wave we had that 5 waves in this kind of form, where we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a couple of different ways, other ways of looking into this, which we're going to be diving into next, but again, this is one of the possibilities here. So this is the more bearish count. What does this mean? Is that we are right around the point 382 here, and again this would mean that what we are expecting is again a wave Y later on. Again, as we did not retrace 90%, we are expecting a three-way structure here overall for that wave Y, and that would be somewhat comparable to this wave W. At this point, again, there's no real reason to be looking at the targets too much, but again, 1-to-1 you can see here is around 7.9k. Arithmetic scale, of course, that 1-to-1 target is minus 20k, which is not something that is possible. Again, also the 0.618 is below 0, so again, not possible target. So to have some kind of higher time frame targets, we're turning into log scale, and these are the areas of interest for me, at least at this point. Again, the smaller timeframes are going to be the ones that define the targets more for me rather than the higher time frame, because again, the smaller timeframes are the ones that I'm actually trading. So, but that is again the more bearish count. The bullish option, which is always there, is this one, in which we have a WXYXZ, and in this scenario again we would have a potential move to the upside. With this one we have the mega bull count, or just the bull count in this one, where we have a start of a move coming up, looking for wave 2 either on the smaller time frame, where this is a 1-2-1-2 coming back to areas of here, or if we take out these lows, we still have the possibility of having this as a 1-2-3-4-5, looking for a pullback here, potentially take out these lows and then rise up higher. So again, the bullish scenarios are still not dead, but again, they are less likely to me on the higher time frame. Why? Is just because again we have this as a WXYZ. That is a more rare of a pattern for me that I just don't see that often. That is why this whole thing is less probable to me. But yeah, pretty simple in my opinion on the higher time frames. Mega bull is expecting some kind of down move here in potential 3 waves, expecting resistance around the 0.5 to the golden pocket. 618 important one, but again 618 is right around this fair value gap over here around 23.8 to 22.2k. So again, don't really see too much support here, at least on this last week. We sure did have some kind of consolidation area here, so it might be that it is relying on this area here to be taking that support over. But yeah, that's that. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame here that we've been dealing from the highs of 31k. We're talking about the possibility here previously with as a potential diagonal. I'm not really a fan of that still. There's a still possibility where this was a 1-2-1-2. RSI is not really liking that, so that's why I'm really referring now back towards this being a 1-2. If we are missing some structures in here, then we can be thinking about that 1-2-1-2 scenario, but until that happens, I'm still expecting this to be soon to be done, or at least this kind of 3 wave here into these lows, current lows, is potentially done. Now previously we had these 3s and 5s over here, where we had this as a potential 1-2-3-4-5 ending at these lows, but again we got a continuation to the downside. We had divergences forming here, which is why we were starting to become more bullish here. I was looking for altcoin longs here as well, or previous to these lows, But again, those turned down later on. So again, those did not play out. Again, my bias still to this downside. Why is just because again we hit the 1.618. When we hit the 1.618 extension of the first structure here, it turns me more towards the idea that this is a third wave instead of C wave. C waves of course can extend, but I don't think we want to be seeing a C wave extend longer downwards. I do like the idea that we are going to be looking for a consolidation here for this potential wave 4 first, and then another 5-wave structure coming down for that 5th wave later on. So when do we again start to think that this might not be a wave 4 anymore? Is when we come back previous or go through the previous wave 4 consolidation. So if we go through this area of 28.35k, then we can start to think that this might be something else. There's still a slight possibility where this is a C wave, and now we are going to be creating another move up higher. If this turns out to be an impulse wave, we don't need to be overly bullish on this one either, but we can look for a trade opportunity once that comes down in 3 waves, and then again look for another 3-wave structure. At that point again, this whole thing would most likely become a 3-wave structure like so, 3 wave here, and then either we are going to be looking for a bottom leg for this structure coming down like so, or we are looking for a continuation of this, meaning a correction of this leg and then creating a partner leg for it, and then we'll be looking for downwards again. I don't really see us having a too good of a probability for this to be an end of something for higher degree longs. Why is because the higher degree structures and the counts are not really suggesting that. The mega bull option is still expecting us to come down below at least the 38.2, but I would like it more coming down to the 0.5 retracement. So in this scenario, even we would be looking for this 5-wave move, or if it was a 3-wave move, I would be expecting something like this coming down, or more like this. And again, that would be giving us a 3-wave move coming back towards the support areas that we have here, and then we can be looking at that scenario again. If we are creating another 5-wave move, then we can again be looking for a pullback, and off we go. Again, we don't need to be stressing too much about the exact count. We're just looking for the retracement, extensions, and the potential support areas that we need to be paying attention to when we are creating these counts, and see what the probability, or where the probabilities lies, I guess. But this is my preference now, where this is a wave 4 and looking for one more low here, and then we can talk about this structure again. But yeah, if this turns into a 5-wave, this is the important one. If this turns into a 4, 5, then my bias is way to the downside. Again, at that point, we would be expecting a pullback of some sorts, and then look for, again, move to the short side, or lower prices, I guess. And at that point, again, if this extends longer, like so, giving feels that this is starting to become more of an impulse instead of an ABC, then we can start to talk about more of the very much lower prices. Because again, at that point, if this turns into a ABC, or a 1, 2, 3 down to the downside, we would be looking for this as the start of something, as at least in 5 waves coming down, 3 waves up, and then another 5 waves coming down. So again, we are starting to come down very deeply. So those are the things I'm looking for now. But again, we don't need to be worrying about the higher time frame for now. Again, just look for this pullback, see if there is an opportunity there to go short for this last leg. And yeah, that's how I'm going to be playing it. But that's going to do it for this video on Bitcoin. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on this. Again, if you want to educate yourself, check out the following advertisements. But for now, I thank you for watching and hope to see you back on the next video. Bye bye. Couple of advertisements here: Patreon Elliott Wave Basics course, weekly live streams and more Elliott Wave analyzes. Udemy Elliott Wave Advanced course, including RSI, risk management, Elliott Wave strategies and time analysis, and candle trend capital, trade setups, education and community. Check us out if you're interested in learning more.